media. Historical ninjas typically dress to blend into their surroundings, wearing practical and close-fitting clothing appropriate to their environment and missions. Ancient Greek and Roman statues were not all white.
Yes.
They were originally painted in vibrant colors.
I love that he chose the one representation of this chateau, of this statue, that is white as well. It still keeps the super white skin, like literally. But yeah, he's correct. He is correct. Absolutely. Statues in period were all painted, and let's see what else he says. But this is kind of funny though. Yeah, this is Snow White, guys. This is Snow White.
Practice known as polychromy. Traces of paint found on many sculptures reveal that these statues were not the white marble we see today, but colored to enhance their lifelike appearance.
Okay, this is a better, absolutely, yeah. Very true. They even painted the eyes. The ones that are usually painted are the ones that are in fact marble. If statues that are bronze, as far as I understand, and I guess Mr. Terry will correct me, but as far as I understand, the bronze statues, they were not usually painted. And when they wanted to represent polychromy within those type of representation, statuary representation, they would just use different constituents in the different types of bronze, as to, for example, have the helmet look like a shiny, dull gold, and then maybe the face is going to have a different chromatic variation because you're using essentially different types of bronze. I think that's how they achieved polychromatic variation in bronze statues, but when it comes to marble, painted. 100%.
During the Middle Ages, most people weren't unhygienic. Public bathhouses were common in towns and cities, and in urban centers, waste management was a big concern. Furthermore, religious practices often emphasized cleanliness as a part of spiritual and ritual purity. Medieval torture devices
He's correct.
Were less commonly used than often portrayed, and many famous devices like the Iron Maiden are likely more myth than reality. The use of chastity belts during the Middle Ages was not a common practice. They were introduced by a German engineer as a form of satire during the 15th century, so it's very unlikely that its use during the Middle Ages was as common as it's normally portrayed. The 100 Years' War did not last...
To add, it didn't last 100 years. How much did it last? I don't remember. 106, 116? You know, the thing about the chastity belt as a meme, medieval people, we often have this image that, you know, oh, medieval people were super Catholic, right? Super Christian, super Catholic, very religious. So the split second you say something like sexual, they're going to be all pious. And so they're going to be all like, oh, how dare you? You know, that's how we sometimes imagine it. The reality is that it's insane. If you look at the jokes, the double entendre, and the sexual jokes that are found in medieval Europe, it's all over the place. Medieval people are quite foul when it comes to their language, and sexuality was often used as a joke. Given, would you make a sexual joke inside of a cathedral in front of a bishop? No. But then again, we also have to distinguish the regular people and their everyday regular life. And if you read the funny stories, it's all about sex when it comes to medieval people. It is. And it's funny. It's really funny.
100 years. It lasted 116.
I got it right. I should have not said 106. 16. I remember there was a 6.
16 years, from 1337 to 1453, despite its name suggesting a century-long conflict. The Black Death was not spread by rats, but by the fleas on said rats, which transmitted the plague bacteria to humans. The fall of the Berlin Wall did not cause the...
I mean, of course there is a lot more to say about the spread of the Yersinia pestis bacterium. Technically, you could say that rats are conducive to the spread, because it's not like I can imagine the fleas flying all the way to freaking Europe. That is pedantic, but I appreciate pedantic, Titan Bro, so I'm not going to use it against him. I'm Mr. Pedantic myself. By the way, I'm going to make an announcement right now. It's going to be a big announcement, so you get ready for the big announcement. I'm making a new plushie. It's going to be great. It's going to be me. Hopefully, we can release it for the 1 million subscribers, unless YouTube stops having people subscribe. In that case, we'll release it anyways. But yeah, we're making a plushie, and the word pedantic is going to be on the plushie.
Which transmitted the plague bacteria to humans. The fall of the Berlin Wall did not cause the unification of Germany. Although it marked the beginning of the end of Germany's division, the formal reunification of East and West Germany occurred on October 3rd, 1990.
Pedantic,
Cowboys are portrayed in a very exaggerated manner in modern media, often being described as lawless and chaotic people. Many frontier towns had organized communities with relatively low crime rates, and cowboys often worked as cattle herders and ranchers, contributing to the development of the American West. They also...
Hey, pretty cool. I mean, I don't know anything about cowboys, I'll be honest with you, but nice.
Did not wear cowboy hats. Joseph Ignace Guillotine did not die by the guillotine. He died in 1814 of natural causes. Not all gladiators were slaves. Many were volunteers who chose to fight.
Okay, I like this channel. I like this channel. You know what? I gotta do this.
Of natural causes. Not all gladiators were slaves. Many were volunteers who chose to fight for fame, money, or to pay off debts, though many slaves and prisoners of war also became gladiators. No one...
Okay, so he's correct. Since he's pedantic, I think he's going to appreciate my pedanticism as well, in the sense that when he says many were volunteers, I don't think we can substantiate the word many necessarily, but definitely there was a certain number of gladiators that were volunteers, others were prisoners of war, and others would have been slaves. So he's absolutely right that that was a thing. And as he says, sometimes they do it because they need to pay debt. Other times is because, I mean, it is a possibly lucrative career if you think you've got the skills. Like, imagine if you're a strong man, you know how to fight. You're like, you know what, I want to be a gladiator. I'll do this for 5 years. If I survive, then, you know, maybe I will... It's something that people would have chosen sometimes, although often they do it because they are in desperate economic conditions. Absolutely. But he's absolutely right. You know who is not right about this? I gotta show it. You know me. I don't care if I make enemies online. I'll go you are the best. You are the ones that are going to allow me to speak my mind. This guy. So, super big shot, Professor Roman historian, on his dedicated video, when he spoke about gladiators, he said gladiators were all slaves. He does not talk about the idea. And in fact, he even tries to kind of debunk it, which is nonsense because it's in the sources. We know it happened. So, big shot professor doesn't know, but little channel with drawings knows. Where are we going? What's happening to academia? Not everyone, okay? Before people say Metatron is anti-academia. No, I'm anti-clowns in academia. But I'm not anti-academia. I think there are plenty of academics that are fantastic. But there are some people that just... I can't help it, guys. I can't help it.
Or to pay off debts, though many slaves and prisoners of war also became gladiators. No one actually jumped off buildings during the crash of the stock market in 1929.
Oh, good.
Germany did not invade the Soviet Union in the winter during World War II. Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union, known as Operation Barbarossa, began in June 1941. Lady Godiva did...
Okay, he's going very fast. So yeah, I mean, so far, so good.
No one actually jumped off buildings during the crash of the stock market in 1929. Germany did not invade the Soviet Union in the winter during World War II. Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union, known as Operation Barbarossa, began in June 1941. Lady Godiva did not ride a horse naked through Coventry as a form of protest against high taxes. Historical evidence suggests that this famous event was likely a myth rather than a factual event. Marco Polo did not introduce pasta to Italy.
Boom! Marco Polo! Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the man.